guys, my name is Laureen and welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you haven't, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing the 10 baby names I love but will not be using. No, I am not pregnant, but I have some names that I have saved aside for the future just in case. Plus there's new names coming out every day. So I'm going to list 5 boy names and 5 girl names that I love but will not be naming my future children. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to give the name, I'm going to tell you the ranking on how many people are naming, like how popular it is basically, and then I'm going to tell you the meaning, and then a reason why I will not be using it. So let's get started. The first name I want to talk about is the name of my son. His name is Clayton. Currently his name ranks 234, and his name means a bed of clay, literally Clayton, like a ton of clay. I named him Clayton because it was the maiden name of my great-great-grandmother, so it would have been his great-great-great-grandmother. So, but I liked that, and it was just a close name. I wanted something very southern. I grew up mostly in the South, and I liked how classic the name is, and I can imagine him being an adult one day with that name, and that's one factor that plays into a lot of these names. Yeah, I think they're cute for a little kid, but well, I still think it's cute when they're a grown adult. So, the next name would be my own. It is pronounced Laureen. It's L-O-R-I-N-G. I will put the spelling somewhere on the screen. But currently my name ranks 12,247 on the list. It is a French boy's name, and it translates roughly to famous and more, like literally a person that's really good and more. It is actually a boy's name, and my parents chose this name for me because their favorite vacation spot in Canada is Port Laureen, so they named me Laureen when they saw it in the baby book. So I have a very unique name. I've met one other person with my name, and it was actually a female, but my name is a lot more common in Europe. Not super common still, but you know, it's more common. And then the next name I want to talk about is the name Nathan. My boyfriend's name is Nathan. His name currently ranks number 41, and it just means he gave, like roughly like he gave you a boy, like God gave you a boy. So let's get started with my boy's name. The first name I will not be using is the name Isaac. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone because I have all the stats on here. The first one is Isaac. It stands for the laughing one, and it currently ranks number 42. Now, I like the name Isaac, but it is way too popular for my taste. I want something that I don't have to worry about my son being named the same name as someone else. So I don't want like an Isaac C and an Isaac B, you know? So I like the name Isaac, but it's just too popular for me. The next one is Declan. It stands for full of goodness, and it's number 110. And the reason why I don't see myself using this is I can't imagine a little boy Declan. I can only imagine an adult. And I feel like I need a name that will carry throughout their entire life. And I think that's why I don't want to use that. The next one is Reese. There's a couple different spellings of this. I prefer the R-H-Y-S, but I'm also talking about the R-E-E-S-E. This one has a couple different meanings, enthusiasm and running, and it's currently ranking number 946. The reason why I don't want to use this one is it reminds me of a lot, I prefer Reese as more of a female name, like Reese Witherspoon, and I don't know, it's just not one I will be using. Sadly, I do like that name. The next one is Asa, and I've always liked this name. Currently it's ranking number 504, and it means the translation is physician, like a doctor. And I do like this name, but every time I read it, it reminds me of Twilight. If you've read Twilight, you know what I'm talking about. His dad's name is Asa, and he's literally a doctor. So that's all I can think of. So the last boy's name is the name Lincoln. I love this name. It currently ranks number 33, and it means settlement by the pool. And I love this name, but again, it's just too popular for my taste. Not only that, I associate it a lot with Abraham Lincoln and like Lincoln Logs and just that sort of stuff, so it's just not one I won't be using. The first girl name on my list would be Everlee, and I prefer the Everlee spelling compared to the Leigh spelling. It is number 897 on the ranking, and it is currently, or it's roughly translated to either boar field, like a place where boars hang out, or grazing meadow. I really like this name. I like the way it looks when I write it, but my boyfriend does not like it. He does not like it at all, and he's kind of already shut it down. So it will be one name if we have a girl in the future that I will not be using. The next one is the name Ray. This one has a couple different meanings. There's, depending on the way you spell it, there's R-A-E, which means the word doe, or there's R-A-Y, which means grace. And this is currently ranking number 861. And I really like this name. It might end up still being a middle name one day. I do like the meaning and the way, the R-A-E version. But who knows? For right now, I don't think it's one we'll be using. Definitely not for a first name. My third one would be Annabelle, and this roughly translates to joy. It is currently ranking number 115. And the problem with Annabelle is I think of dogs. I don't know why. I think it's because I've met so many dogs named Annabelle, or just the name Belle, or just the name like Anna. I don't know. There's a couple different dogs I've met with the name Annabelle, and now every time I picture a dog, so I can't do that to my child. The next one would be Magnolia. This roughly translates to from the flower, and it currently rates number 545. And I do love this name. The only thing that bothers me now is Magnolia has gotten very popular within the last couple years because of Joanna Gaines. I love her to death, and like her magazine's called Magnolia and her store. So it's just one that I think is just going to continue growing in popularity, and by the time I have another child, it's just going to be too popular for my taste. So I do love the name, but I just think my own predictions are it's going to get more and more popular. The last one is the name Georgia. It is the female version of George, and George means farmer, so it roughly translates to a farm girl. And it is number 296. And I love this name. I just think, knowing kids, that it's going to be one of those names that she'd probably get made fun of growing up. I live in the north, so southern names aren't too common here. But I do love the name. It's beautiful. I wish I could use it, but I just have a feeling that some kid somewhere up here will make fun of my kid for having the name Georgia. Oh, your name's a state. But anyways, those are the top 10 baby names I love but won't be using. Sorry to offend anyone if you named your child that, or you are named that. I'm not trying to offend anybody. These are just my reasoning behind why I can't use them. I'm a little bit crazy, so, you know, that might come into play with that. But I hope you have a great day, and if you like my content, please feel free to subscribe. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.